What's happening, everybody? Good morning from Quincy, California. Actually, that's milepost 43.31 on Highway 70 from the Butte County line towards the, towards Reno. But yeah, so right in the middle of downtown Quincy. I just spent about an hour at the coffee house charging my stuff, getting my things together, and I always walk by this free pile at the thrift store left outside. Look at this. Got a JBL amp right here. Or speaker. Holy crap. Wish I had my car. That's nice. Is it? It's a speaker. Well, it's not, they're not open, so maybe this is like donations too. I don't know. Interesting. A little flat screen. But yeah, I'm curious what that's about. I can't carry it, so I can't take it. But that just showed up like 10 minutes ago. I could use a speaker. Nice stuff. So anyways, I'm walking off to the bike path. I got to walk to East Quincy to Stonehenge to get my bicycle. Let's turn this around because, by the way, these shoes, Nike size 13 football cleats, which a Nike size 13 is really like an 11 and a half. I'm an 11, so they fit okay. Just wear an extra pair of socks. But now I have traction. And now I have Nike Victory on my feet with the swoosh. It's all about the swoosh. The swoosh. What's the swoosh? I am the swoosh. My voice is the swoosh. Kind of is. So I've already had breakfast at Sage and Salt. Nice conversation with the waitress there, who's actually, unfortunately, it's her last day. Alicia. I really like her. She's cool. She went to school with my daughters. She knows Natalie really well. In fact, they dated the same guy. They had the same issues with the same guy. Some guy named Max, who was a total piece of shit, apparently. Natalie dated him before Alicia did and warned her about him, but she did not listen. Small world. So I've met more people who know my kids and grew up with them than, in this town than I've seen of my kids in this town. I've been here off and on for 6.5 months, trying to reconcile, reaching out, but not overstepping. And I haven't seen, Teresa still lives here. She got married in May to Chandler Short, and I wasn't invited. So I've come back to make things right and see what's going on, figure out what I can do to reintegrate into their lives as their father, and not just a donor, sperm donor, which, by the way, that's what Natalie calls me in her posts online I've seen over the years. She calls me the sperm donor. So, everyone has their ideas about me. Everyone has their opinions about me. It's very interesting where they get these ideas and these opinions. Where do they come from? I did not get along with their mother. We were toxic, very toxic. And so I left in 2003. Finally, officially, and with great clarity. By the way, here we go, onto the bike path. That's from the coffee shop to the bike path. We're 4 minutes into the video, so less than that. This is the beautiful path in Quincy going through. And I've taken a few videos here already last week. Today, it is sunny and warm. I like it. It'll be in the low 70s. Still haven't processed that staff. I need a proper knife to do it. If you see that, I see a hiking staff right there from one local tree. Let's talk about this. Let's have a meet and greet and a conversation. By the way, I sat at the coffee shop for an hour plus, and there's 2 people there in the outside seating area were yammering away. Nice conversation. I'm not complaining about the topic of conversation or the tone of the conversation. They seemed like interesting people with something interesting to say, and they were relating stories from their childhood, and like, but how? This is where it gets a little complicated, because I'm here talking about this. How do you all talk so much? I mean, seriously, how do you all have so much to say? Well, I got something to say. My first poem ever, by the way, was written in 2004 in San Diego, when I had a $5 bill on me, and at that time, a day pass for the trolley was $5. And I was walking after sunrise to the trolley station to take the trolley around San Diego, see the county, my hometown, and just experience it really kind of for the first time. I was so sheltered and worked so hard, was raising kids, always so busy. I never had time to just get on a trolley and ride around and enjoy the city. So I wrote this poem. I'm flowing with infinite love. I'm glowing with light from above. I'm showing it fits like a glove. This is how to live at peace like a dove. What else is there? What else but love? I say there's nothing but you push and shove, insisting that your version is the only true way. Well, listen, my friend, I got something to say. Look at the sunrise. It's new every day. Embrace it. Enjoy it. Get out and play. That's how I live, and I'm more than okay. I'm overflowing with joy, and this joy is here to stay. This is my first poem ever. And I wrote that after Marcus Kendrot. I hung out with him for a week solid out in Chico. He was another young prophet. I was a few years ahead of him, so I kind of took him under my wing as a mentor. And we drove around to Oakland, to Monterey, we had a little Geo Metro at the time. And we just drove in the spirit and had these conversations nonstop. Oh, so there's the hypocrisy in my situation. I'm complaining about these people talking for an hour solid. And here I was with Marcus talking for a week straight. But, what are you talking about? They were talking about all the car insurance and accidents they've had, and how his son is 18 and is like complaining about his job, and he's like, he's got to have car insurance. I'm like, do you not question the system from the bottom up entirely? Or does it not occur to you that maybe there's a better way? Does it not occur to you that Babylon is tightening down the hatches on us and is forcing us to comply? But the other part is, like, I couldn't find a moment in that whole interaction there, sitting there listening to them, to interject myself into the conversation, because normally I would. There was no way to get a word in edgewise or to introduce myself and like offer my perspective back at Breakfast Bush, by the way. And all the breakfast is up high. And I already had breakfast, and it's actually rotting on the vine, so there might be a few good berries left in here. Maybe, I see one, but it's out of my reach. Out of my reach. Yeah. What's the old, a man's reach exceeds his grasp, or what's a heaven for? That's the old saying. So, yeah, I had to walk to town today. Let me catch up on the whole scenario. I did a nice video last night from Camp Getaway. I was super excited about getting the car out of the woods into a safe place where I could fix the window tomorrow, and get on with my life and extricate myself from that liability. I don't need a vehicle. I like the bike. I like getting around on a bike. I can even do it in the winter. There's actually buses in town that are free. So if I need to get anywhere, I can rely on the bus schedule. There's ways to do it, especially in Quincy. I knew that would happen. So what I need to do is either non-op the car or sell it to someone cheaply, and get out from under it. I love the car, though. I mean, I still love that car. I was rocking out. If you saw my short from earlier, from the ZZ Top, I was just rocking out cheap sunglasses. And I forgot the sunglasses. And today I actually need them. So funny. You win some, you lose some. You can't lose them all. I can't think of everything all the time. And it's good to have your eyes exposed to natural light. Maybe not excess of it, but, beautiful, sunshiny day. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Well, one of these days, I'll have the whole gimbal and the GoPro on my chest. I'll be walking around just chatting. just like I am now, but it won't be shaky. And if you've watched anything of mine up to this point, you'll probably appreciate the improved quality when I get to that point. Haven't got there yet. I can see clearly now. All right, so I don't mean to insinuate myself into someone else's conversation here. A nice little, look at that, a de Havilland beaver taking off. Looks like a 1952. Let's see, what is that? I don't know, I'm talking, actually don't know. I'm making that up, but it looks like a de Havilland. I've had 2 cups of coffee and a good breakfast and a 6-mile walk to town. So I'm a little bit amped up. I'm excited about the new cleats. I can run straight up the mountain. I got traction. These are like good all around woodsman shoes. See, here's the thing about wisdom. And here's the thing about surrendering to Christ and listening to the Proverbs of Solomon and the Psalms of David is that you see things for what they are. What are these shoes? They're football cleats. What do they have on the bottom? Traction. What do you need in the woods? Traction. Do I play football? No. But do I go in the woods and run up mountains? Yes. All the time. In fact, the soles are stiff, so they're going to make a good bicycling cleat. Multi-purpose. Multi-use. By the way, let me, for my own records, record what I remember from the walk to town. From Camp Getaway to the highway was 23 minutes. I think. Hold on a second. No. Less than that. From Camp Getaway to the water, the spring water, was 23 minutes. I left at 8:24. And I got to the spring at 8:47. I got a gallon and a third. We got a gallon container and a kombucha, 48-ounce kombucha bottle of spring water in my backpack. So that's an extra 11 pounds. And so that slowed me down a little. But then I counted my strides from the spring into town, or mostly to town. I marked off where 1,000 strides made it, and 2,000, and it was 1,284 strides from the spring to the milepost 2.0, which means that it's about 1.1. I've known this before, that it's about 1.1 miles from the spring to the 2-mile sign, or 3.1 miles to town. And it's 1.5 miles from camp to the spring. So, just, for posterity, I don't have Strava right now. Besides, there's no GPS around here to record Strava. So, it's a moot point. It took me, so from the spring to town, and I had breakfast at Sage and Salt, was 54 minutes. And I figure I'm averaging about 16 minutes per mile at this clip. Right now I'm going slower, about 20 minutes a mile. But I was trucking it. I had this hiking poles, Compardel carbon fiber hiking poles, which I got for $1. Stuff just finds me. It's awesome. That's great. But I had a good workout. I had a nice lather going this morning. It was cold and overcast and foggy. When I got to Sage and Salt, a young waitress was counting out the till and she had to do like 3 times, and it was 15 minutes before I had, a beverage on the table and started our conversation, which is fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. No complaints. She's a sweet young girl. It's just a small town girl, Anyways, let's not get into that right now. She knows my daughters, and my son, Caleb. So I like to talk to her about these things. And she's got her head on right and a good perspective and sees the patterns and the overall picture very similar in a way I do. And so I appreciated the conversation. So I'm going to walk to Safeway. I'm going to get another jar of kombucha. They're $9.09 right now for a large 48-ounce kombucha. I'm already getting notifications. That's good Wi-Fi. That's all the way from Safeway. Or it could be from Rich Bar. What's funny is I'm piecing together different places in Quincy where I have Wi-Fi saved on my phone, on this phone. So I can almost walk from end to end with full coverage. Safeway, Rich Bar, Co-op, library, coffee house, gym. And that's a pretty good trek with almost full coverage. So I'm not averse to that. I'm a fan. Here's the juniper bushes in the public works building that I've been frequenting. I slept here I guess it was just one night, Tuesday night. And then I met Deb the next day, and I was staying with her for 3 nights. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Last night at my car in the lab. And tonight, who knows? Who knows? The battery died in the car. I don't exactly know why. I have a suspicion it has something to do with, even though the keys were out of it, ignition off, but I had the cigarette lighter in the cigarette lighter slot, which was never a problem before, but apparently is now a problem because the battery was dead when I woke up. So that precipitated the long walk to town. That precipitated me not getting to church this morning. That precipitated breakfast at the Sage and Salt. Yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. Here we go. Onward and upward. I love it. I love it. I wish they had that water on. That'd be really helpful. By the way, I slept behind that air conditioning unit, under the eaves, behind the juniper. You can't even see it. Even me looking right now, you can't see where I was sleeping. I like it that way. I may actually go back to sleeping there because I kind of was being used as a pawn by Dove as protection against her, her landlord, I guess, the best way to describe him. She's been living there 8 years, and he's a creeper and a stalker and jealous type, and possessive, and she felt unsafe there and had actually just came back to town to handle her business and get her situation dialed in again, coming back from LA from her mom's place, somewhere near LA, I don't know exactly. Really not my business, but I did not appreciate feeling so unwelcome in the house on Saturday morning or Friday night, and I'm glad I'm out of the situation. I think we instigated the interaction she was looking for, and she's got footage for her divorce lawyer. Her lawyer. I'm not gonna get into that. Strike that. I might have to rescind that statement. But she has legal protection on the property as a renter, and he's an old creeper, and I did my job. I'm happy to do it. I think I could have been warned better about the whole situation. So that's what's up. It might work into a stable and comfortable place to live for the winter. It might not. As it stands, I've gotten 4 good nights of rest, and I'm doing quite well. I'm going to sit right here at Safeway, where they do everything they can to make us somewhat unwelcome with the water. Very thirsty society we have. It's all good. God bless America. Over and out.